everyone.
It's Joe and
Michael.
welcome to Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au, selling you the
Best bullion bars and coins shipped to you worldwide from Melbourne in Australia.
Hey, you got it.
3 years.
For once.
I've actually got it.
Welcome to the live stream, everyone.
Yeah.
We're
we're not where we normally are. So if you haven't caught up, Melbourne's out of lockdown. So that means the shop is going flat out, and we couldn't really take over the shop again and run it as we normally did. So it's been a mad scramble around the office trying to find somewhere where we could do the live stream where we wouldn't be interrupted. We'd still have good enough internet. So yeah, if you're finding that we're lagging or anything like that, please let us know. I'm not sure what we're going to do about it, but at least let us know if there's any issues there. But yeah, here we are yet
we'll get
again.
it going. We have no topics of discussion.
Oh, I've got
We've
one
got
or
a few.
two.
We've got a
but
few.
yeah.
We may have another special later on, quite possibly.
We do have another special
Good.
later on.
Good. Whew. Thank goodness for
It
that.
was organised all of 30 seconds ago.
But we have live chat on, so we've got a bunch of questions coming through. We'll try and get to them as soon as humanly possible. Hello to everyone out there in Australia, of course, and our international subscribers as well. And it's always good to have everyone on board. A big shout out in particular to our friends north of us who are in lockdown.
Yes, absolutely. And I might slide it in now. I know it's at the start of the live stream, but we've decided, and it shouldn't come to a shock to anyone really, but any of our customers in New South Wales who have got their stuff in our allocated storage. Normally we offer people 3 months free storage, no questions asked on anything. We're obviously extending that for anyone in New South Wales if they require longer because of the lockdown. I know we've had a couple of people concerned because they were actually coming to Melbourne to stop by the store and pick up their gear. And obviously that's not possible at the moment. So, you know, if that's you, just relax, it's no stress. We actually designed this originally around COVID lockdowns in Melbourne. So we are more than happy to extend it to our northern brethren. So don't stress. We'll keep the storage free until you guys come out of lockdown and we can sort out what's going on.
Absolutely. Let's just roll through a few comments.
Go for it.
Ben Harvey got a feeling there'll be a good special on the live chat today. Yeah. Absolutely. Good day from the USA,
hey,
from
Blue.
Hey, Blue.
Welcome back again, mate.
What's up, man? Excellent. Nathan, any chance Queensland Mint products could be available?
Queensland Mint's a private corporation. Look, it could. We can poke around and ask. I have to admit, I haven't.
A phone call.
Yeah, I haven't asked the guys up there for any of their products. So yeah, look, why not? We'll ask the question.
Michael Frost is asking, how do we think silver will go over 50? Do we think silver will go over $50 US in the next 6 months? Hard to say. We don't give financial advice and all that. It's silver and gold, precious metals are a little bit more of a slower creep than some other assets out there at the moment.
Gut feel, I'd actually say no.
I would say no in the next
in 6 months. If
no.
You're pushing that.
No.
But certainly, particularly as the industrial demand builds, because to be honest, if you look on the statistics, investments about, and I'm using really rough numbers here, investments about 20% of silver demand every year, and the rest is kind of industrial. So you've really got to wait for the industrial demand to pull the price up overall. So I would suggest not, but I'd suggest in the longer term, you know, if you're looking at 2 to 5 years, look, I can argue more for it going over those sorts of prices than staying below.
Absolutely. Snaptrex is asking, are you only able to get new bullion or are you able to source older coins?
We can source older coins. It becomes a little more interesting. It depends on what you're after. Obviously, we've got a buyback scheme. Here we go. Shameless plug. We buy back at spot.
Yeah. What was that?
We buy back at spot. At spot. So look, if they come through buyback, absolutely. We also attend auctions and things like that to try and source. We also have contacts. So if you're after something specific, look, really hesitant to say this because I don't want to drown Sam, but you know, if there is something that you're chasing, you're more than welcome to say, look, you know, any chance you've got up X, and we can poke around and see if we can find it. But yeah, we see them come through semi-frequently. Most most different types of coins. So if you're after something, it doesn't hurt just to check the website or drop by the store or give us a ring and just say, hey, look, I'm after this. Any chance you've got one in?
Yep. Wombat is asking, I might have asked this before, where do you stand on gold backs?
I saw that question go through before
what does he mean
last
by
week.
Gold backs. Exactly.
You're more up with this one than me. Oh, obviously not.
I'm trying to figure out the
so
terminology.
the goldbacks are unless I'm going to stand corrected, which wouldn't be the first time. The goldbacks are the gold-backed denominations, usually out of the States. So is it Utah that issued goldbacks?
Oh, okay, sure, right. What's my stance on those? I think they will probably all go. I don't think they'll last. That's in just my.
Oh, you mean as longer term?
Yeah, longer term.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think they'll last. As in, they'll still be producing them in 20 or 30 years' time. I think they're a great thing to get hold of if you're buying them now. But that's more from a collector's perspective than a stacking perspective overall. And they come with a bit of an insurance policy at the end of the day as well.
Sure.
So
we've got someone from Virginia here, from the USA, Michael Black. Hello, welcome. Are you getting any more Michael,
yes.
Are we getting any more 1 ounce gold complete coins?
All right, I'm going to regret this statement. I'm probably going to be shot by a few people as well. We actually, the mint is, so the Royal Mint, who produces them, is doing another run of those types of things in September, I am led to believe. We have put our hand up for a component, pretty much as they'll let us have. I can't take orders for them at this stage. Or we can't take orders for them at this stage, but we are absolutely hoping to have more in that September rush. And if we do, we will make a bit of a song and dance about it, and you'll see them on YouTube. But please don't start inundating Sam or the others with requests for, can I put my name down for one? Because I haven't even actually got the confirmation that we can get an allocation of the September mintage. So we are trying. Can we make the other announcement?
No.
Oh.
Hang on. Last week I wanted you to make the announcement.
No,
and you
not,
wouldn't.
not that one.
Not that one.
No, this one.
What's the other one?
You can't pre-book them, okay? You cannot pre-book them. You can't just phone in or anything like that. But we've actually got a small allocation of kilo silver completers.
Oh, okay. Yes, sure.
Coming in a few weeks.
Yes.
And they are, they look good.
Yeah.
They are expensive. The premium on them is quite a lot.
Yeah.
So not going to lie up front, they aren't cheap.
But you can't even call and pre-order. Don't email. Don't anything. Wait for the video to come out.
Yeah, we don't have. I actually know the allocation I'm getting through, but I don't know the exact pricing because it depends on so many different variables by the time it lands in the country. So we'll let you know as soon as we've got them. But keep an eye out for those. We're still waiting for confirmation on the 10 ounce completer.
Oh, good.
I don't know if we're going to get any of those or not yet.
Question, when selling back, what details do we require?
On all, I'm assuming you're meaning buybacks to us,
Yep.
so sellbacks.
Yep.
All sellbacks, I don't care. We don't care. The company, the government, anyone doesn't care if it's a 1 ounce silver coin or it's $1 million worth of gold. We still take ID on it, and that's really from a just in case. We don't do anything with that ID as such. It's kept on record just in case we get the police knocking on the door saying, look, we've had a report that
Someone stole
10 ounce Perth Mint bars have been stolen from Oakley or something like that, and then we need to be able to provide ID for if we bought them back. So it's more along the lines of a second-hand dealer's license requirement rather than anything else. So it's just in case we're seen to be receiving stolen goods.
Someone has a question about the Little Coin Shop, which is your
That's the sister company.
The sister company, which has actually been in existence for longer than Bullion Now. It's kind of how Bullion Now kind of.
Actually, Bullion Now one of the reasons we set up Bullion Now was an offshoot of Little Coin Shop.
Someone's asking, just on that, is it possible to buy Macquarie Mint stuff from Little Coin Shop?
No, a Little Coin Shop, we call it LCS. Little Coin Shop doesn't deal with Macquarie Mint products at this stage.
Okay.
So if you want to see what Little Coin Shop stocks, and again, it's a bit of a shameless plug on another channel, but it's littlecoinshop.com.au.
Yep. Are you getting in any of the 2021 Una and the Lion Bullion bars or coins?
Trying.
Okay.
Trying is the answer on that.
Okay.
It's not as simple as picking up the phone and saying, "Hi, can I have?" Particularly when it's from another country. There's allocations. There can be restrictions. It can be that it's a private mintage, even though it's done by Perth Mint, Royal Australian Mint, any of those big companies. You can still actually get a private mintage it's produced by them, has the Australian currency on it or the UK currency, but it's limited to whoever's actually requested that mintage. So it may be that we physically can't get hold of it. So we are trying. We've put our hand up. Whether we actually succeed or not, we'll find out.
Fair enough. We've got the Lucky Simpin show. Was here
last
week. From an investor's perspective, looking long-term, 5 years plus, would you still recommend a 50-50 split of owning gold and silver?
Oh, there's so many factors
That's
involved in that.
It's really hard.
It depends on your outlook. It depends on your position in life.
Your age, your risk tolerance, how old are you? Are you 60 plus and getting into retirement? Maybe lean more towards gold. Yeah. Silver is maybe a little bit more risky if you're a young 25-year-old whippersnapper, possibly all silver.
We're showing our age.
Yeah. And hey,
whoa,
I resemble
that
that. And I think we need to throw in platinum in the mix now.
Yeah, absolutely. We tend to say, and you could call me a little bit of a liar over the last 12, 18 months, but gold is the stable investment. It keeps trickling up over time, a little bit up, tiny bit down, a little bit up, tiny bit down, a little bit up. We always say that silver is more the hyperactive younger brother of silver, in that you can get really rapid movements in it in very short periods of time. It has been known to jump 10% overnight type of situation in spot price. So it has that volatility both upwards and downwards. So if you're an older investor, it's probably not your thing. You're looking for more stability. You want to weight your portfolio more towards gold. Again, This is not investment advice. This is just a general talk by two turkeys on the internet. So it's you tend to lean towards more that gold sort of stability rather than the more dynamic silver. And then platinum takes that to the next level. It can actually be fairly volatile at different times, but I would suggest, and again, this is not investment advice, but I would strongly suggest that if you're in the market for precious metals as part of your investment portfolio, have a look, do some independent research, have a look at platinum, because it's got legs. And in my opinion, again, this is not, I'm not giving you investment advice, but do some research on it. I think you'll be surprised at what you find with platinum. It's something you need to consider.
Yep. 3C Gallery says, "G'day from Toronto, Canada."
Hey, Canada.
G'day.
Hey.
Canada.
There's a lot of questions.
There's a lot of questions. We'll try and get them through as soon as humanly. Can you explain the premiums you have on gold and silver? I don't know what you mean by the question, or how you're asking how are premiums calculated. If you don't mind, that's the Lucky Simpin show. If you could post a clarification to that question, and we'll try and get back to that. That'd be great. Calypso Moon, can we send you our bullion for storage, or do we need to buy it from you and then store it?
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, the short answer is you can. We're very reluctant to store bullion that's not been sourced through us. It's for no other reason really than the fact that it's checking veracity of it and all that type of thing. We're not we do have storage. We do offer storage to our customers, but we're not a storage company. We don't want humongous amounts of storage. So there are other companies around that do storage, and they do it quite well. So I would lean towards suggesting you explore some of those other companies. But for one of our customers, and we've got a couple that have said, look, I'm already storing stuff with you. Is it all right if I store this, extra kilo bars or, type of thing with you that I bought from somewhere else? We generally say yes. We need photos. We need to test it and all that sort of stuff. But we're a little reluctant to do it.
Yep. What are your favourite, this is from Matt Thormson, what are your favourite generic art rounds floating around these days? Interesting. Smithy's Bullion.
Yeah, it depends on your definition of art. See, I'd consider some of the Perth Mint stuff art rounds.
Okay.
So it depends. There's a few kicking around. There's a new one coming out called the Robin Hood that I'm actually looking forward to seeing how that goes.
Okay. Is that Bullion, through Bullion Now, or like a little coin shop?
No, that's Bullion. It's Ooh, strike. Are we allowed to talk about that yet? I've lost track of what I'm under
I
embargo
have
for and what I'm not.
no idea. So let's come back to that one if possible. We might make mention of it later. Let's see. Lots of questions coming through. Mark Horsnell asking, do you guys ever get any Korean silver coins for sale? No.
Occasionally, but
Have
it's pretty. Yeah, we had some
right, as a
buybacks a
buyback,
little while
okay.
ago.
Yeah.
Pretty rare, but yeah, we do occasionally.
Right.
It's actually something I'd like to source more of. Japanese, Korean. There's another one of the Asian mints. They produce some really beautiful stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Robin Murray is asking, how much silver and gold do you both have? The answer is none of your business. I think I've said this in 3 live streams now. The third one, yeah, is the
I actually couldn't tell you, and
No, I wouldn't-
it's
I
not
don't
that
know.
there's so much
I
of
don't
it.
know.
It's just that.
Also, where do you live and what is the
yeah,
combination?
yeah. Thanks, Rick.
I actually don't mind answering this question, but I actually don't have an answer for it. Because I buy things. I have buckets. I have long-term storage buckets that I'll never. Like the kids will sell or my grandkids will sell. I have some that that I use for trading, and I have some that it's like, ooh, I really like that. I'll buy that, and it kind of chops and changes quite a bit. But it's as a percentage, if you wanted to keep it that way, it tends to be somewhere between 5 and 15% of my total holdings.
Yep.
If that gives you some idea.
Let's see. Any advice on copper coins?
I'm not a fan.
Why?
The premium on copper coins is quite large. If you want them because you like the copper coin, that's one thing. If you're asking, should I stack copper, I would do it in other ways. And in fact, and I'm going to cause a bit of an upset on this channel by saying this, but it's actually the one that I would lean towards for the paper market. Because unless you have the capability to store large, bulky amounts, I mean, it's worse than silver. Unless you've got the capability, the space, the ability to store large amounts, I would hesitate to stacking that in physical. So I'm not a big fan of the investment copper coin, but I understand the argument for it, absolutely.
MSKR is asking, any smaller size platinum coins becoming available, or is 1 ounce your only size? It's hard to get fractional.
It's expensive to get fractional, and that's why I tend to shy away from it. We can source some. We have had, I think we had some 1/10s at one stage.
Probably.
But that was a while ago.
Yeah.
So you can get them. We don't store them very often, or we don't sell them very often, I should say. But maybe I'll poke around and have a bit more of a look.
And here's where I'm going to plug, as I try and always do at some point, our unallocated program, because if you want to save up for an ounce of platinum, go onto the unallocated section of the website and you can buy platinum in grams. So then save up 31, 32, 33 grams roughly if you want to take into account the premium when you turn it into a physical bar. It's the perfect way to save. Let's see. Love your store. Thanks, Dale. Dale Cunningham. We love you too, mate. Have you lads seen, actually I'll skip that one. At what stage in stacking gold and silver should I be thinking of storage facilities? For example, after 100 ounces, is that 10 ounces? 10 ounces of gold or 30 ounces of gold?
I think you should be thinking about storage facilities from day one.
I think you should be thinking of it before you make your first purchase. Yeah.
And shameless plug here, we've actually done a video on storage options a while ago, didn't we? Under our gold.
How to invest in gold series. So if you go to our playlist section, there's the How to Invest in Gold series, and it'll be something about it. It'll have the word storage in it, and you'll find it.
As a brief one, your best form of storage defense is don't tell anyone that you've got it. The second probably is to spread your risk. Now, by saying spread your risk, I mean don't have it all at home, sort of thing. Start looking at spreading it around. Store some at home, because it's always good to have some handy so you can get hold of it. But then start looking at alternate storage facilities, and it's on a person by person basis. Where do you become comfortable with it?
Has demand for silver and gold remained elevated, or is it dropping off?
It depends what we're comparing it to. I would actually say it's eased slightly. In the last 2 to 3 months, it's probably eased slightly, but I think that's because people are distracted with a lot of other things in their life. Not only just lockdown, but in Australia we've just gone through tax season, so June 30th is the end of our financial year. People start focusing on that. So I'd say demand. I don't want to say demand's dropped off because it hasn't, but it has. It's not crazy like it was 12 months ago.
March of 2020.
Where we had people queued outside the door, in the foyer area, down the elevator, and out on the street. It was just ridiculous, and we couldn't keep up with it.
It's since that thing occurred, we went from here to here, and then maybe here, taller than me, and then we've maybe plateaued here.
Yeah.
So we're constantly just always busy now, always busy, and never back to the level that it was pre. What?
Well, the start of 2020, Ruben came on board. So then there was Joe, myself, and Ruben serving in the store at that stage, and now we've probably employed about another half a dozen.
Well, in the storefront at least. Oh, I mean, for the first there was you, me, Ruben, then Brett, I think, then Brett, then Matt. Sam squeezed in, like not for install, but with taking over from me. I was on the phone with everyone in the emails and all that, and then I got busy with purely this side of things, purely the social media, YouTube content, and we had to get someone in for that. So Sam's got all that now. I almost think, let's have a chat about it now. I almost think, not yet, but we're going to need another Sam eventually.
Please don't flood us with resumes.
Yes, no, don't send in the resumes, but it's getting that way.
It's certainly busy, and we've got. I don't know if people realise, but we've actually got a remote facility as well, and there's people working in that remote facility. It's where our dispatch comes out of.
Yeah, you only see a fraction of the people that you see on camera. We've got way more.
We've certainly got more. Yeah. And just on that, I owe an apology to our people in our dispatch centre because I made a comment. Possibly the last live feed, I think it was, but very recently where I said, the guys will encapsulate those coins for you, and the girls that were encapsulating. Right. So I've said this once before where I use guys as a very generic term, and I have to stop doing it. So I apologise to the girls that are working very, very hard, particularly Emma. So sorry about that.
They are working very hard indeed. How much notice do you guys need to pick up after the free 3 months storage? So what kind of time frame?
Look, we always like at least 24 hours notice for pickup. Is that what we're leading to? Is coming into the store. We always like 24 hours notice, so that way we can get your product ready. So your parcel, it's already been picked, but we've got to pull it out of storage. So it's give us the 24 hours. That way, the guys first thing in the morning they race around, they grab everything out of storage, have it all set up, and that way, if you've only got half an hour parking in town, you can get in, you can pick it up, you can get out pretty quickly. Particularly if you're coming from interstate, because a lot of our interstate stuff is not stored directly in the store, and it can take us a little while to get it in.
Yep.
So we strongly suggest that 24 hours notice. But look, having said that, particularly if you're Victorian, and I'm not being parochial here, but particularly if you're Victorian and you happen to be walking past the store and you think, I'd really like to pick up my parcel, by all means come in and say, look, I'm here, my invoice number is XYZ, we'll pull it out. It just means that you're going to have a 5 to 10 minute wait while we get it out of storage for you and present it. That's all we're trying to say by if you can give us that 24 hours notice.
We've got Maximilian Gross. Do you pay spot for platinum buybacks?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do. Yep. Any plans? This is from Jason.
Sorry, and it's also very liquid. I'm just noticing one disappearing off the screen. Platinum is very liquid.
All right. Yes, absolutely.
So keep going.
So, Jason Kowalski, any plans on sourcing Canadian mint 1 ounce gold maples and fractional gold maples?
Yes. I actually have. Oh, I know. I don't think I've placed the order for them. Either we've just placed an order for some more maples, or we're about to place an order for some more maples. I have to admit they were 1 ounce ones, but I reckon I can ask for some fractional maples as well. They're a beautiful coin.
All right. So Bill Katz is asking, why hasn't the business moved into supplying protective capsules. Now, we actually do sometimes.
Oh, capsules are a nightmare.
It's a hard one. It's a hard one.
They're difficult to. Back at the start of 2020, I was in Berlin, and I was trying to talk to Lighthouse and a couple of the others about sourcing them properly, and it didn't work out. It was no one's fault. It was just one of those things. There was lots of meetings, and it wasn't the one that actually floated to the top of the queue, sort of thing. It is something that we need to get more in of. We do offer where we can for smaller numbers, smaller orders. We do offer to encapsulate, but yeah, if you're after a serious number of capsules, that type of thing,
It's hard.
yeah, we don't currently do it. It's hard to get a consistent supply, particularly at a reasonable price. It's I probably can't say tight ass, but it's a tight ass in me. I don't like paying too much over the top for things, so I like to be able to present good deals for people. So it's sourcing those products at a reasonable price that it can become difficult.
Mr. Side Hustle is asking who decided to make the YouTube channel with regular uploads, because I believe it's a large part of your Bullion Now success.
Absolutely,
That's
it
true.
is.
That's true.
And flip a coin, it was one of us too.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think it was a bit of a joint decision.
Yeah, absolutely. I had built up my own YouTube channel, and I will not plug that here because I've left it sort of by the wayside for the last couple.
channel.
No, it's not. Oh, actually, it wasn't originally a crypto channel. It was a bunch of different things, and then it got a little bit crypto focused in about 2017, but other stuff as well. So I had that good. I built my subscriber base to about 8,000 subscribers, and then I came onto Bullion Now, and hey, I've got this. Let's do it. And you were like, let's get as many out as possible, like as regular as humanly possible.
Yeah.
And it's been a great thing for us.
It's been good. It's been good for us as well. It's great for
Oh,
a
it's
laugh.
great. It's fun. I love doing literally this. This is great. Let's see. The can. If you buy gold and silver from someone in another country, would you cover the shipping costs?
Short answer is no.
No. No. Let's see. What else? I've got a bunch more questions coming down. Robin Murray is asking, do you have a lot more coins in the store than is on the website? I'm sure it's time consuming putting everything up on the site, but I'd love to see what you have available.
Yeah, look, things appear in store faster than on the web because we can just have them there. And quite often some of the guys are selling things before they even arrive, which I'm not a huge fan of, but we do sometimes when people are keen. So yeah, in-store things appear. If you're ever curious, usually Sam can give you a semi-accurate description of what we've got. So 1300, 84, 8410, have a yarn to Sam and he can give you a ballpark of what we've got. We do get them listed as quickly as humanly possible, but sometimes there is delays, whether it be an unboxing. We've got to shoot the unboxing video, which we've still got to do for those other ones for next week's release.
Yep. Which ones are they?
We're not allowed to say yet. That type of thing, or whether it just be that none of us have got chance to get back and actually change the listing and add the 3,000 coins that have arrived, which I think happened with the kangaroos the other week, where I just hadn't physically had time to get onto the web and actually relist the numbers.
We're in the process. It's going to be a long process of moving systems, and so that's going to be a lot more a lot more easier. So Sam, for example, will have his own little kind of warehouse, his own little stock list, etc. So he'll be able to give you like exact, yep, I've got this, I've got that. He won't have to, I'll call you back and all that stuff. He'll be able to tell you straight away. We've just answered this on the actual live chat, but I'll mention it on the camera. Calypso Moon is asking, I genuinely love a TikTok page. We happen to have a TikTok page.
We do.
And Matt is doing an excellent job. I think he's uploading almost every business.
He tries to do it every day.
Yeah, so check it out. Whatever tiktok.com, I think it is /Bullion Now. So literally everyone watching now, somehow get over to TikTok if you're on it and hit the follow button, because it's a good little thing.
Yeah.
What else?
There's a question on there about platinum bar sizes and types. We do get other sizes. We've had half kilos in. Quite often they're pamps, mainly because you've got a limited selection of what you can actually source in platinum. there's a lot of refineries don't touch it because it's too hard to work with. It's not too hard to work with, that's an exaggeration. It's more difficult to work with than your gold and your silver type things.
We have Wombat asking any ideas on how to trade with other stackers.
We touched on this last week, and we're shooting ourselves a little bit in the foot here, but there is silverstackers.com is a forum, and that's a good forum to use, and they do buying and selling on there. And I can never remember the Facebook one, Gold and Silver
Stackers Australia Facebook group.
Yeah.
And they're great as well. If you're asking though any ideas on how to trade in terms of, do I send them the money first or do I meet them in a thing? All the practicalities. Safety first. Public place, at least for the first one.
Banks are banks and inside McDonald's are very good places.
Yep.
If you can't get to Bullion Now.
Cameras everywhere.
Because there's cameras there and security there.
Yep.
So they're good places to do the physical deal. And never hand over the cash without the product, and never hand over the product without the cash.
Yeah. We have the Can asking, do you have a PO box that people can send stuff to? We used to.
No, we just use the shop address now, 605 227 Collins Street in Melbourne, 3000.
Violet Adams, do you have Bullion Now cap? I presume merchandise.
We've been talking about doing that. There's
we...
always this argument in store about whether we have a cap that says Bullion Now, but effectively across the back you want to print, Mug Me Now.
Yeah.
So we've always been a bit careful with the merch, but one day we'll come up with something that is mug proof.
14,900 subscribers. Any specials for 15,000? Nah.
Don't know.
Nah. We'll wait till. No, I reckon it's the 1,000. 10,000, 100,000, million. We'll do a big one under 100,000. Can you imagine that? That'd be cool.
I don't know. I'm still trying to get over 15.
I'll sell myself for 100,000 subscribers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, we can make...
I sell myself. You'll make at least $3. I sell myself every day here on the YouTube channel. Or I sell the company, that is. Hello from heavily locked down New South Wales. Yes, hello. I'm sorry you guys are...
Can you scroll up?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. There's one on there that comes up semi-frequently. What is the purpose of making bullion coins as legal tender? This question comes up semi-frequently. There's all sorts of reasons why they do it. One is for marketing purposes. Everyone loves to buy their currency in different forms. It also provides a legitimacy to it, and I don't want to go down the political side of this, but you've got something produced by a government, therefore it must meet certain criteria, and it's fairly stringent because all governments want to stand behind their fiat currencies, and that's what it's effectively becoming. It's a fiat currency as well as a precious metal-backed currency. So it's for that reason. There is the argument about whether it can be confiscated or not. Again, I don't want to go down that alley.
Yeah.
It starts to become a bit dicey when we start arguing that point. So it's those types of things, and also people like to collect from, I've got a coin from Canada, I've got a coin from the UK, I've got a coin from Australia. So it's reaching those sort of markets as well. So there's several reasons why they produce them as legal tender.
Someone's asking, is there any limitations on how much gold or silver a consumer can hold? I heard something about the Perth Mint limits how much silver someone can personally own. Absolutely not. No chance. Nope. You want to buy a truckload of it? We'll sell you a truckload of it.
Back it up.
Yep. Simon Bickerton, we need a giveaway. A giveaway? We give away our services and ridiculous premiums every single day.
At 100,000 subscribers, Joe's going to give himself away.
I'll give it all away at 100,000. Mr. Sidehustle, what about stickers with business cards to promote the business? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we thought about stickers to stick on your safe, but you'd have to stick them on the inside of the safe, not the outside of the safe.
Bullion Stacker, don't see you guys stock RAM gold coins. Do we like RAM products? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they produce some really schmick stuff.
Absolutely.
RAM is only just starting to move into the bullion area, like bullion sort of coins. They've always produced, the proofs and the high level stuff, not so much the bullion stacking stuff, but they are starting to move into that with their Ox and with their Southern Skies, those types of things. So yeah, we will stock them. We haven't stocked, I don't think we've stocked any of the RAM gold at this stage.
No.
I may stand corrected on that. The RAM at the moment is targeting an interesting market. Their premiums are slightly more than your Perth Mint and that type of stuff. I'm not saying that they're overcharging, but their premiums are slightly higher. So it's a slightly different fit into the stacking world.
Let me see. What Niti is asking, which country does GST inclusive on bullion? So which country does GST inclusive on bullion? Well, it's a tough one to answer.
Okay. If you're talking about GST specifically, we don't do GST on investment grade bullion in Australia.
In
full stop.
On gold, silver, or platinum.
Correct.
Yep.
Palladium and rhodium do incur it.
Yep.
If you're talking about overseas, though, every different country is different. For example, there is GST, they call it VAT in the UK, on silver, but not on gold. And I think it's the reverse in the US. It's the other way around. I think it's on...
It's the reverse here for certain bullion coins. For certain 22 carat coins.
Yeah, 22 carat slightly different.
I don't know about that in the States, actually.
Yeah. So it changes depending on where you're going. So you'd have to check the specific country as to what you're targeting.
Yep. Let's see. SAW is asking, is it illegal to melt down bullion coins?
Bullion
coins? No.
No.
Coins? Oh, sorry, because he said coins. It was a trick question.
Yeah. Bullion rounds? No.
Legal
legal tender, Australian legal tender bullion coins.
Yes.
In Australia, you cannot melt them because that is damaging Australian currency.
It's currency, so it has a face value.
It's like you're not allowed to tear up a $20 note or anything along those sort of lines.
You can't melt down a kookaburra, for example.
Or a sovereign.
Or a sovereign,
or pre-decimal silver, or anything along those lines in Australia.
Yep.
I'm not going to go out on lines of what if you've got another country's bullion in Australia. That's a completely different
Chunk
argument.
silver, sorry. Let's see, this is a good question actually, from the can. How did you think of the name Bullion Now? Did someone come to you once and say, I want my bullion now?
Actually, that's not far off the truth.
Okay.
But it was a roundtable discussion, and we're still toying with the idea of playing around with pricing with immediacy. So if you want your bullion now, you pay a little bit more for it than if you say, look, I want my bullion, but I don't mind if you deliver it in a month's time. Right. But we've never kind of worked out that model properly yet.
Paul Clark is asking, are you still after an unboxing knife? I'm an amateur knife maker.
Yes and no. I got offered one yesterday and we're actually having it inscribed. But I think we were talking about this in the store this morning.
Knife of the week, mate.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing getting 2 or 3 knives mainly and rotating them around. We think might be a bit fun.
Probably best not to keep a whole bunch of knives.
Well, I don't mind keeping the knives here.
Okay.
My concern is more that I've caused a bit of a security issue because people are walking in with knives, which we can't have. So don't walk into the store with a knife, please.
Any live special coming up? Yes, it's coming. What's the time? Just hold up.
There's a question on there about, are we getting any gold American Eagles? Stand by. They are on their way.
Yep.
We just don't know which side of customs they are currently. And as far as the Libertads go, the short answer is no.
No way.
Not this year.
Do you want to give the long answer?
Not really.
Cool. Let's see. Got to deliver. This is from Silver UFO.
Oh, no.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. We'll read it out. Got a delivery from you guys the other day. All your capsules were scratched to pieces. Really disappointing. That is really disappointing. I'm
Contact
really
sorry. us. We'll have a discussion.
We'll sort you out.
Send through some photos and we'll sort it all out.
Yep. Easy. Let's see. The can. Why do they tax 90% junk silver now? It's cheaper to buy 999 pure silver than junk silver. I don't know much about that.
They've always taxed. It was decided when the GST came in that only investment grade precious metal would not incur GST. So anything, I'd have to go read the GST law again. It's been a while. I think it's 995. Anything below 995 incurs GST. Anything above that does not. But don't quote me on that.
No,
I'd have to check the law. Or anything that has been, that isn't an investment grade. So by that I mean it's a collector coin, it's a proof coin, it's an ultra high relief coin, it's those types of things. It's part of a collector's set. Those types of things also incur GST.
Is Perth Mint issued, is Perth Mint stuff legal tender, or is it that Australian Royal Mint that is legal tender? No, Perth Mint's legal tender.
Yeah, they not all of their stuff is Australian legal tender.
Yep.
They use, get this the wrong way around, I'm pretty sure they use Tuvalu.
Yep.
And the RAM uses they produce Australian. The Royal Australian Mint produces Australian legal tender, but they also produce another country's coins. So some of these smaller particularly the Pacific Island countries, one of their main exports is allowing their name to be used. So it's still a legal tender coin, but it'll have Tuvalu stamped on it, and they actually get a commission from, in this example, Perth Mint, for every Perth Mint coin that is produced with their stamp on it. So it's actually a major income source for them. It's a great idea to support them because you're supporting some of our neighbouring Pacific Islands. But it means that Perth Mint has an option. Under Australian law, it's difficult to get Australian legal tender coins through under Australian law. And generally, I'm lying a little bit here, but generally if you think it's got to have an Australian theme before they'll stamp it with an Australian currency coin.
That's a fair point.
So this gives them the option to still produce a legal tender coin that really has nothing to do with Australia as such.
Yeah.
So they can actually produce, some of their Star Trek stuff or, those types of things.
Yeah. For people who aren't aware, Perth Mint's actually owned by the Western Australian government.
Yeah.
So let's see. There are questions. Here we go. There's still a few. Bullion Stacker. I am based in the US and love when you guys post the Smithies stuff. What's the best way to order? Should we call you? What's the go for you in the US? It'd be easier to email.
Yeah. Sales at bullionnow.com.au, and we can organise the order for you. If you are domestic or you want to call in, the 1300 number is 1300 84 84 10. I actually can't remember what the international number is outside of that, but we will find it out and we'll start posting. Actually, it's on the website. Go to the website.
Ruben will find out and he'll post it in the live chat right now.
The voice in the background is actually Ruben.
Yeah.
So a big shout out to DJ who's dying in bed at the moment.
He doesn't have the thing.
Yeah, no, he's been tested. He doesn't have the thing, but he's not feeling real well, so he had to pull the pin today. So get well soon, mate.
There's questions. Let us know your questions. Throw in your questions right here. This might be the perfect segue to. Do you want to do it?
Oh, the special?
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, mate. I'm looking at the questions going, what are we segueing into?
No,
so today's special.
Yeah.
Please don't crash the website. We're putting up plenty this time. It's not like the last mad hurry.
Let me get that almost set up as well. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not live on the website.
Yeah. So don't start hitting
don't
the
go
website.
To the website.
What is it? F5. Don't sit there hitting F5 because it's not there yet. Don't panic. It's not there yet.
Well, I'll let you know when it's there.
But we are releasing we're doing a special on, is probably a better way to put it. So the James Bond coins, so they're 1 ounce silver coins. I don't know how well that'll pick up on the camera, but you can go to the website in a moment and actually see it. So we're doing the James Bond coins. You can take them as a single or you can take more. We've listed 1,000 on the web, and they should be approximately $42. Per coin,
which is how much off our regular premium?
Oh, it's about $6 or $7.
Something like that.
$5 or $6.
We're
6
charging
or 7,
around about
something like
47, 48, something like that.
Yeah.
Previously.
So it should be. The problem is with our website, it's tied to a live price feed. So we put the premium on it to make it $42. But if spot jumps around a bit, you might find it's a little bit more or a little bit less. And I'll try and trim it to that $42 and keep it about there. But we've released 1,000 of these, so there's heaps of them on there for you. At $42 a piece, and they're Royal Mint production, so they're really good. They don't come in a capsule. They do come in this vacuum sealed plastic. So if we'll trim them out however many you buy. But there's 1,000 of those up there at the moment, and I think Joe's just about or has made it live.
As far as I'm aware, it should be up there.
Okay, so don't rush. Don't go over there and quick. I've got to do it because you'll. Like if we have 50 million people hit it.
There's 1,000 of them, so
there's heaps on there. Yeah. So don't stress too much.
Yep, fantastic.
You can watch till the end of the stream and you'll be fine.
There's a question rolled through about if we're going to cut a gold bar in half at some point.
Are we going to cut a gold bar in half?
Absolutely, I reckon we should.
We've been talking about it for a while, and we want to do the $1 million gold bar.
Oh, you
soaring.
Want the big one?
I want the 400 ounce, mate.
I don't know. We actually. cutting a bar open is so last month. Last quarter,
So
whatever we
passe.
do. Yeah, we're looking for a different way to do it. So I'm thinking more, something a bit more dramatic,
Something
slightly
more-
less embarrassing
something
for
with
me.
a few
hopefully.
more sparks.
Yeah,
shall we say?
I don't know. No, we'll have a play
Okay,
around. If you've got a
alright.
suggestion,
Okay.
don't be shy. Put it your suggestions
Okay.
somewhere.
The can is asking one last question. Do you have a preference for bars, cast or minted? So do we have a preference personally? Do we like minted bars or cast bars? I love a good cast bar.
Yeah, I'm a cast bar boy.
Yeah. Like in the mould and you get some swirling on there and stuff.
Oh, particularly the older types.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for them. Love them. The other reason I like the cast bar over the minted, and it's not that I don't like minted. It's just that you're comparing something that's really, really good to something that I think is really, really, really good. But usually the minted bars come in packaging, and I've said this before, I'm very tactile, so I love actually touching the gold, and that's another reason why I
to
like.
the chagrin of some of the customers.
Yeah, but so I like that tactileness of being able to actually touch the gold or the silver or the platinum, whatever it is.
Yep.
We're in trouble if we start stocking uranium.
Hey, do we have any Queen's Beasts completers left? None. It's just none in the silver, none in the gold. That one day, when did we release it? Wednesday?
40 minutes.
40 minutes. 40 minutes and it was all gone. We released, I think it was 400 silver ounces, 12, I think, gold
400 by silver by 2 ounces.
ounces. 400
Yeah.
2-ounce coins.
Yeah, and whatever it was with gold.
Yep.
And we actually held 100 back for the store and 100 back for Sam to sell over the phone.
Gone.
And I think they lasted about 3 minutes longer than the website.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all gone.
Yep.
I am trying to get more, but at this stage they're all gone.
Yep. The Fox is asking, what are the fees for selling back unallocated platinum? It's exactly the same as the gold.
No.
No? Isn't it?
Oh,
it
platinum.
Platinum.
Oh, my apologies.
Oh.
Leading you astray. It's actually not. We've always had it as $15. We've done it as half the price
Oh, have
because it's half the
I
it's
didn't
half the
even-
price of platinum.
Oh, I
Platinum
didn't
is half the
realise.
price of gold. So
I better
the
check the-
fee is $30. So we've always done 15,
I
and
better
we
check-
will until the price goes up
I
a
better
bit.
check the website listing on that to see
You
whether.
probably should.
Um,
There was a question. Oh, sorry, you were
Okay.
going to continue on.
no,
with it.
that's all right. Let's see.
There was a question on there. Blast.
Wombat is, have you ever got Smithy to mint you a Bullion Now piece? No, but we should think about it.
No, we did.
Bullion Now piece?
Well, sort of. We got the moustache.
Oh, that was through Smithy. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
he
that's
produced.
true.
So for Movember, we did another one of those embarrassing moments on YouTube. We did an auction, a charity auction for a couple of moustaches. So there was 2 silvers and a gold moustache, and raising funds for Movember, and Joe grew a moustache and I grew something on my upper
That
lip, and I
resembled
really
some
don't know
kind-
what it was.
Some kind of fuzz. Yeah. 1 second, I'm going to let you take this just for a minute because there's something important I've got to grab for the continued technology running of the
Okay.
of the thing.
You also might want to grab Matt for a bit of a burst on numismatics, because we haven't done the Numi
Sure.
chat yet. So I'll just rattle through some of these really quickly. Adam Florio, do you know if Perth Mint is releasing a 10 ounce and 1 kilo kookaburra? They have released the 1 kilo kookaburra. That's done and dusted, and I'd love to get hold of more, but they're out. The 10 ounce one is a point of contention at the moment as to whether they'll be able to produce it. Just before we came on air, on a live stream, whatever we call it, I actually shot a message through to Perth Mint about the 10 ounce cook and whether they were actually going to do it. I will get back to people within the next week as to what's going to happen with that one. I'm getting charged messages. You should.
Be right back.
Can you get Matt?
Okay.
And we're back up, apparently.
Yeah, sorry about that. See
Sorry.
what happens when we don't have DJ here?
Hey.
We're stuck with
Man, why do we...
poor old Ruben. I'm giving him a hard time.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, if you can get Matt down here, that'd be great.
I want my mobile.
Yeah, good on you.
So that's what Joe was talking about, battery low. Yep, battery
Yeah.
low. But we're on. Hey, that's cool. That was, I gotta say, Ruben, that was like a pretty seamless transition. That's good. No, that was good. I'm not joking. That was good.
Mate, I've seen better pit stops at Bathurst.
This is the thing in working in this wonderful environment is we'll just give each other the biggest ribbings whatsoever.
The stick that goes around here.
The camera has that thing. Let's see, James Bond crashed the party. Yeah, he does crash the party. He comes in and just
Take it out of his pay.
Yeah.
Here. Oh, we pay him. Oh,
Cool. I didn't
How about
know.
that?
I didn't get the memo. On that.
oh okay.
Let's see. Let's go back a little bit. Track back. Are you guys going to do Movember again? That would be great.
Yes. Well, we're intending on it.
Yep.
And we're actually, we had a conversation with one of the guys the other day, with one of the artistes. And Daniel, if you're watching, this is a plug for you, but he's looking at creating a platinum moustache for us for this one.
Ooh,
Yeah, so I reckon
Cool.
that'll be groovy if we can get that out.
fantastic. Let's see right here. Just let us know, guys, if you can hear us the same way that you could hear us before. If there's any issues, because we've just done a little bit of switching. So don't make stuff up. We'll know when you're lying. Let's see. We've got 150 people still watching, so fantastic.
Yeah.
So I hope some of you have already purchased.
What is the best spot
What's
to
that?
park when you're coming into the store?
Ah,
Okay.
anywhere you can.
Yeah, well, there's a little bit of that, but there's also a little car park up on Flinders. I always get this wrong.
Flinders
Flinders Lane.
Yeah.
It's about half a block from us. 187, I think. If you type in 187 Flinders Lane on your GPS, it'll take you to this car park. It's down a one-way street. It's on the left-hand side as you're coming down the hill from Exhibition.
It's a Wilson parking.
Yeah, it's Wilson parking, and it's something ridiculous. Like it's $5 for 20 minutes, which in Melbourne is a bargain. But if you go 1 minute over the 20 minutes, it starts racking up rapidly. What I suggest you do is, if you're going to park there, is download their app and book your parking, because then it's $15 all day. You can park in there and you can leave, 5 hours later, and it's only going to cost you $15. So plug for Wilson there, because I think it's great that they do it, and take advantage of it if you're coming into the store. I think it's 187 Flinders Lane.
Silver Morlock is asking, is it worthwhile stacking old 50-cent coins?
Yes, from a bullion perspective, yes. From a collector's perspective, we've actually got Matt walking through the door, so we might even pitch this at Matt and see if he wants to join in that discussion.
Now, can you, Ruben, just technically, can you turn me off on the thing and then turn me back on in terms of swapping over mics?
No, just turn your mic off, and I'll rattle through these as quickly as I possibly can. While you're doing that. So will cost you more to park than the bullion. Yeah, well, like I said, that app's not a bad way to go. Come on, the 152 viewer, thumbs up for the stream. That'd be fantastic. Sounds good. That's good to hear. 81 James Bond's gone already. Good to hear. Does platinum tarnish like silver? No, it doesn't. It almost comes, I want to say it almost comes pre-tarnished. It doesn't, but it doesn't tone in the same way. Where are we? I'm trying to can't drive Max. Where are we here? I'll go back up a bit. Did Michael regret buying the James Bonds bars? No, I didn't actually. We bought a lot of them, and they actually got us out a little bit of trouble. I don't know how to say this properly, but we weren't having trouble hedging, but it was becoming more difficult to hedge. And a whole stack of them, and I mean thousands of them, became available. So we snapped them up more than anything else just to lock in our spot price so we could hedge against it. So no, don't regret buying them at all. Matt,
Hello.
welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Mate, you're welcome anytime here, you know that.
Always a treat.
We've got Matt here. Now, Matt is our numismatic guru. So bring those numismatic questions in, and the first one we had was something about the 1966 50-cent piece worth stacking outside of its silver content?
Oof, that's a good question. It depends on the quality. If it's of particularly high quality, they can be quite valuable. You know, as we mentioned last time, the slabs, the PCGS, if you get them in a really high grade, they can sell for up to $100. So they certainly can be, but the vast majority of them are fairly well circulated. So
it would have to be stunning.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should bring it in one day. I've got quite a nice one.
Have you?
Yeah, I'll bring it in and show. Yeah, slabbed and
very
all.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, Matt and I were talking off camera earlier on this morning about doing a bit of a section on here, kind of like a fortune in your pocket is what we should call it.
I love it. You just came up with that. Genius.
Just like that.
Yeah, cool.
So what we want to talk about is a little bit of the numismatic line, but more of, you know, money in your pocket. So the normal 50s and 20s and dollar coins and that you find in your everyday change and some of the notes, are any of them worth anything? So, Rubes, we preloaded, if Rubes can bring it up, I don't know if he can do it in a hurry, the dollar coin that I was pitching you for before.
It'll play in the background on the screen, but
Okay.
you guys can...
So up on screen any moment now, you're going, if it hasn't already, Ruben's going to play a thing from the Royal Australian Mint. This is a $1 coin that they produced a few years ago. Now, do you want to tell us about it, Matt?
Yeah, so the intention behind this one was that it was a donation dollar. So it was the first circulating dollar coin with a colour on it. And the lovely idea behind it was that it was intended to be donated. So if you got one in your change, which was highly likely, they produced a couple of million of these. And I believe they'll be redoing them. I did hear that they intend to do them for a couple of years running. And so, yeah, it was a really positive... Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, we're just seeing it come through now.
It's a so the idea behind it is that if you were to get one in your change, that you would donate it. My take on it as a collector is, if I got one in my change, and I'm a collector, so I like to collect these things, I would donate another dollar.
A different one.
And keep that one. So I get the best of both worlds in that sense. And they are the kind of thing, there was a lot of uproar in the marketplace at the idea that people would be collecting these and hoarding them. But I think when you have a collecting community as passionate as the Australian one is, you can't avoid that kind of thing. If you do something a little different, people are going to collect it. So,
yeah. And this was, you were saying it was the first coloured dollar coin?
the first circulating coloured dollar coin, I believe. So they had done them in the past. I think it was 2015. They did the poppy, which is worth $600 or $700 now. But this was the first one intended for circulation.
Okay, so if I find one of these in my change,
Yep.
what's it worth?
Probably about $3 or $4.
Yeah, so it's 300 or 400% return.
Absolutely, yeah.
300% return. Yeah,
An easy win, yeah.
Yeah. If I find one in really good nick, would it be worth more than that?
It could be. I haven't seen any that have been slabbed yet, but it's only a matter of time before people start doing that kind of thing, I
Yeah.
guess.
So, is noodling? So noodling is actually, tell us, what's noodling?
I will tell you what noodling is. So noodling is the art of searching through your coins.
Yeah.
So it's for some, it's I guess some people view that kind of thing as incredibly boring. A similar pastime of mine is soaking stamps. So you cut the postage stamps off an envelope.
You've got to get a life, mate. You really do.
See, some people would say, oh, geez, Matt, he knows, yeah, he gets me. But I understand a lot of people would have the opposite view. So noodling is getting a bulk lot of coins from your bank and just sifting through them. And if you find anything interesting, little errors or varieties, and you put that to one side, and then whatever you don't decide to hold on to, you take it back to the bank. So you only pay for what you decide to keep. It's great. And good for kids as well. It's a great way to start off a coin collection.
I was just about to say, is this a good way to get kids involved in stacking, I guess, eventually, or an understanding of money and collectability and those types of things?
Absolutely. And I think it's good to develop... I don't know much about, children's attention spans, but I imagine it could be something that would theoretically build up your attention span as well, because you need to have an attention to detail, which you develop over time doing it, And I think there are a lot of benefits.
Oh, look, there are. I mean, maths. I know we taught our kids a lot of maths stuff and a lot of practical capabilities just by, going through change and pulling it out because they know it's got a value.
Yeah.
So it's good to see. Are there any specific coins that you'd suggest people look out for at the moment in their change?
At the moment, so one of the interesting ones is the changeover dollar coin from 2016. So that series was really cool. That was to mark the 50th anniversary of our shift to decimalisation. So they issued decimal coins with the old pre-decimal coins referenced on them. So you have, I think it might be the crown on the dollar, and they had the, the florin, the sixpence, the threepence, all on the other denominations. So those dollars are quite valuable,
What about some more plain stuff? Oh, it was one I mentioned to you earlier. It's the one I fall back on frequently. The 1972 5-cent piece.
Yeah, stuff like that's great. And
What's it worth?
So for $30 or $40 for a 5-cent piece?
Just for a normal one?
Yeah.
So if you can find a 5-cent piece in your wallet from 1972, not just generally, from 1972, why is it worth that sort of money?
It was a particularly low mintage year. So you got to remember that to facilitate the transition from our pre-decimal system of pounds, shillings and pence to dollars and cents, a large volume had to be produced. So that's why you'll see you cannot find a 1968 50-cent coin, for example. There was no demand. Well, the demand was there, but it was satisfied by
the 66 the 66 and 67 production.
Yeah, so they produced just over 30 million of the 50-cent coins in 66. So it was a comparatively large mintage year. So a lot of those early 70s, particularly the mint sets, are highly valuable as a result because people weren't actively collecting at that point in time.
Yeah.
Have we got some questions? I don't
was
want
just gonna
to
say.
ignore the chat. I feel like I'm waffling now.
Yeah, we've gone on long enough.
How much does a RAM roll increase over standard rolls?
Oh, that's a good one. So the standard roll would be referring to a security company roll, like a prosegur. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Or
prosegur.
There you go. Or armor guard. A RAM roll is always the preference. I would say if I were to pick a figure, you will probably see about a 25 to 50% greater yield on an official Royal Australian Mint roll, just as a general rule of thumb, because you also have no guarantees from the security rolls that they are all the same coin as the heads and tails. So particularly with the coloured coins that a lot of people collect, you have no guarantees in a security roll.
Yeah. So what about the 66 20-cent piece?
Oh, there is a particular variety known as the wavy baseline. So a number of them were struck in London as opposed to in Australia, and they have a noticeable wave in the baseline of the number 2, and they start out at about $300 and go up to about $3,000 or $4,000 depending on the quality. That's a really interesting one to look out for.
They also did the Canadian 3.5
3.5 claw.
The 3.5 claw, didn't they?
Yep.
So that one's worth a bit.
It is indeed.
So we've had the round 50s. Are they worth stacking? Yep, definitely for their metal value. Most valuable coin you've ever seen in real life?
That would be... Oh, that's a good question. I've seen a few interesting coins. I saw the first ever £1 note. That was worth over $1 million. That was pretty cool. A company called Coinworks also sold, I'm sure I saw it on display. It was one of the 6 known proof 1930 pennies. That sold for about $1.4 million, which is pretty impressive for a penny.
It's not bad.
Some of the coins I've handled, though, are a little less valuable, but I still find them fascinating, like the Adelaide pounds and things like that are, getting up over $100,000. So, yeah.
I love noodling, especially when you can pull money out of the pokies before you cash them in. In actual fact, there is a coin called the Mule. It's a 2000, so year 2000 $1 coin, and they've used the incorrect stamp on the Queen side. They used the 10 cent instead of the dollar. It's called a Mule coin, and they came out of the West Australian casino pokies. I can't remember what's the West Australian. whatever the casino is in Perth. I've lost track of it.
I've never been, so I couldn't help you. But yeah, that is very
Earthwood,
true.
I think it is. They came out of there, and they're worth hundreds now.
They are.
Those things. Are there any plain $1 coins worth collecting? Yes, the 2000 mule if you can find it. Are there any others?
Yeah, there is. I think it's the 1992 Mob of Ruse. There is only a handful of those that exist, and they're
2010, did you say?
no 1992.
1992.
That was the
Mob of
year.
Ruse,
I
yeah.
think the theme of that, the main one produced was the Olympics. But there are some Mob of Ruse that are known to exist that are very, very valuable.
Yep. Okay.
The HH $2.
Yep.
That was in the news. They are very common. They struck, I think, something like 190 million of the $2 coins in 1988 when they first brought them in. And HH was the designer's initials. His name was Horst Hahn, and they are incredibly common. But the media love a story, so they decided that it was very valuable. But they are incredibly common.
There you go. Thoughts on the 1977 1-ounce silver Kookaburra and 1-ounce silver Swan penny stamp ingot set?
I'm not familiar with it. Ingot set, I'd have to have a look. I'm sure I've seen it. But off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Look out for the error dollar coins. Yep, if you can find any of the error ones, they can crank it up.
Absolutely.
There was another one on here about the Incus. I never know how to pronounce that.
Yeah, the 2000 Millennium Flag.
Yep.
That's another one that's currently getting a run in the media. So it's the design, the Union Jack design on the Australian flag is infused, so it's like sunken into the to the coin, and they're quite valuable as well. You'd be looking at a few $100s for one of those.
Why does cleaning your coin destroy its value?
Because as a collector, I want something in its original condition, particularly when you're looking back to older coins. I want a tangible link to that point in history. Much in the same way that in, say, the collectible cars industry, I don't know anything about it, but I imagine something all original is going to hold its value more so than something that's had different parts from different years put into it. So as a collector, for a lot of people, the motivation is getting something in its original form and preserving it as is. So faults and all, if it's a little dusty, you just leave it as is. And yeah.
The perennial question, are circulated pennies and half pennies worth anything?
They can be. On the whole, they're not. Generally, in my experience, I was buying them in weight. So I was just buying them by the kilo. The store I worked for in Sydney, we had about 1.5 ton of pennies, and we would sell them for 20 cents each. So for the most part, no, but they are still fascinating nonetheless.
Yeah. And is there a website I can use to check the coin value?
The coin value can be a tricky one. So there are a number of resources you can use. An easy one that everyone has access to is eBay, and you can just check sold listings, and that can give you an indicative guide, but then it gets a little complicated once you start to look at grade and things like that. Yeah. That's when you need to start talking to someone with a little bit more experience in the field. But that and Numista is a great website to just get you on the right track with what you've got.
All right, I've just noticed the time and we've actually gone over time. So I apologise for that. Sorry guys if we're dragging it out a little bit. So we might actually draw the whole thing to a close there. You might as well stay. Oh, I think I can see Joe's feet walking past, maybe? Not? Yep, no? Okay, so Matt and I might finish it off for the day. So that's it for another week. Thank you. Oh no, there is one more thing I wanted to say. Ooh. So in some of the B-roll footage that I'm not allowed to call B-roll anymore, you will actually hear some different music in the background. Now that music has been prepared and played for us by this ruggedly handsome young man sitting next to me.
Yeah.
So tell us the name of the band.
Oh, geez, the band is, I don't know if it still is, but it was called Cat or Pillar. It's not currently active, it's dormant, but who knows? With a little bit of Bullion Now push, maybe we'll come out of the woodwork.
What do you call it when a caterpillar goes into a cocoon?
Hibernation? No. Yeah, there's a word for it.
Anyway, so it's currently in that. It's about to emerge as a beautiful butterfly. Yeah. But that is Matt's music that we're going to start playing in the background. So I just wanted to credit that. So enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
That's it for another week. we'll try and do it again next week. Let us know if this still works for you. The time, the place, the salubrious surroundings. Now we've been kicked out of the shop and all that sort of stuff. So that's it from me for now. And
From me as well. Thank you very much.
I'll see you again soon.
See ya.